This is a quick video, no, actually it's a pretty detailed video of the Sony EVI HD7V PTZ camera, uh, which is pan, tilt, and zoom. It has an optical zoom, a pretty good optical zoom. I think it's 10 times? Yeah, 10 times optical zoom. And just so you know the quality of this camera, every view of this camera is using this same camera. I bought 7 of them off of eBay to use with the ATEM Mini. And I use a RM BR300 Sony joystick with it, which is this guy. And all you have to do is select which camera it is, and you can move it wherever you want, zoom in. It's pretty helpful. So you can adjust the white balance, you can adjust our red and blue colors, you can adjust the brightness, and you can even adjust the focus, and I'll show you that in a second. Here is the actual back of it. It has a DVI, but all you need is a DVI to HDMI input. It has the direct drive pan tilt motors in it, so they're absolutely completely quiet and fast. They're super fast, and they look really good when it's zooming in and out, and I'll show you that in a second. Like I said, every video that's shown, every part of this whole video is done on the same camera, the EVI HD7V. Here you can select, this is 60 hertz or 50 hertz. So in 60 hertz, put it on 0, and it does 60 frames per second. 1, 30 frames per second. 2, I think, is 50 frames per second at 50 hertz, and 3 is 25 frames per second. You can use the remote that comes with it. The remote you can select, if you have one remote, you can select on the top 1, 2, or 3 and control up to 3 of these separately, if they're all in the same area. Otherwise, one's behind you, you can use the same one and just point it at it. The remote has all the same, pretty much all the same features as the controller, the joystick that Sony makes, the RMBR300. But the joystick just makes life so much easier. You can get them on eBay for like $300, but the joystick is a worthy investment, especially only since you're paying $200 for PTZ cameras. These things were like $2,000 new. They are discontinued, but I find every single one works really, really good. And just make sure the first 2 dip switches are down to make sure the joystick can communicate properly. It is a little bit hard to get the Visca cables. All you have to do is daisy chain, so one goes directly to the joystick, and then one goes to the next camera, one goes to the next camera, and one goes to the next camera. And you can control up to 7 cameras with that RMBR 300. Which is super sweet, and it's got memory, so all you have to do is press 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or 6. It can remember up to 6 at a time, up to here. So you can just press 1 real quick, and it'll move somewhere else. 2, oops, we're on 5 here, so 1. This shows this camera. This shows a camera. That's the camera that you've seen so far. There's one up above. Then there's one behind this one, so you can see that one moving. So what we're going to do, oops, that's camera 5, which is the one behind me you're looking at right now. I hit 4, it zoomed right in. I hit 3. I've got it pre-programmed to go straight to that camera. I've got that one on a slider, so I kind of taped it in just to make sure it didn't wobble any. So let's look at that one. Let's look at the way it works. I'm using the Blackmagic ATEM Mini. This is the first video I've ever done, so sorry if something's not done right. But we're going to show this camera right here. This video on the top right is the one is the camera that we're going to show. The camera right here is the one that is the video for the top right. So you'll see exactly how it pan, tilts, and zooms. So what I'm going to do now is do the top view to show the actual joystick, which should be that, yeah. So here's the joystick, and if you look, we can turn up the brightness or turn it down right there, which I'll show you here in a second for the other one here. So this camera right here, well, this camera right here is the one that you watch. It's number 3 right here. So you can see how it pans. If I just barely touch this, it pans beautifully. Barely touch it that way. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? And then I can zoom in by twisting this. Look at that clarity. Look, watch the back just blow out beautifully. These cameras, even though they're 2/3 sensor, they are super clear. It's amazing to me that these old cameras have this perfect HD quality. No, they're not 4K, but who needs 4K when you can get these for $200 a piece? Wow, that quality is. There's only one camera that's a little bit better. It's that's cheapish. It's the SRG 120DH. It does 60 frames per second, has HDMI out, but it's a little bit more crisp. It does have high dynamic range, but it kind of sucks. So there's really no reason to use it or pay $600 for those on eBay when you can get these for $200. So that shows this camera going left and right, and up, out, and down. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So now what I'm going to show you is the menu on this guy. So we're going to go ahead and use that top. We're going to be showing the menu on that. So I'm going to be showing the video on the top right again. Like I said, all these videos are from this camera, the EVI HD7V. So if you want to know the quality of it, just look at these videos. Make sure you hit the 1080 HD quality button in the bottom right of YouTube. So this is the menu for this guy. Exposure, brightness, it seems to be the best one for me, especially since, you know, you can control it right here. It makes it super easy to go up and down. But if you have it on any other level, which it looks good on these levels, but the white balance, or the it fades in and out. It fades in and out. Like if you're up, let's do an example here. All the other modes will completely change. See, it changes when it goes into that. And any professional videographer wants complete control over that, because you don't want to be panning and then all of a sudden, yeah, that's not professional at all. There's an example of the auto focus, and I guess I'll just show that real quick here. I'm going to change this to manual focus, so you'll see how exactly that looks when so I can blow this completely out and then slowly go right into it. Or I can go to the background and pull it in. But I'm also going to show you something else. I'm going to put it back on auto, and then oops, 6, now 1. So what I'm going to do is bring this guy in closer to the camera and then bring it all the way back so you can see. And this is about 4 feet, somewhere in there. And the camera's right here, so I can bring it all the way into there and it'll focus. And that's why I love these compared to the other ones like the SRG. 120DH or even the EVI H100V that only does 30 frames per second, and the menu's slow as crap on it. But the red colors are a little bit better on that one, but the video's not as good. So anyways, let me show you what that looks like on 3. You can see the back is super blown out now. Oh my god, that is so close. I'm like inches away from this thing. Look at that. Look how clear that is. 6, 1, 3. I can come all the way back on it, and it still gets. I'm about an inch or two from it right now. Then I'm going to zoom all the way in. When it's zoomed all the way in, it won't catch focus, but zoomed just a little bit out, it will. And then focus will follow it all the way back. It's just amazing. It's amazing to me anyway. So let's bring it in. Keep bringing it in. Look at that background just turned completely buttery back there. Focus just super sweet. It's amazing. This is right in the middle of the table with the zoom in all the way. This is 10 times zoom on it. But if you know what that background looks like, so that's what it already has some bokeh in it, but that just blows it out completely. I should have made a clear background, but anyway, this is supposed to be a quick video. So let's go through the menu on it. The reason I like bright is so I can control it and it doesn't actually change the brightness level depending on where I'm at. It does have shutter priority. The lowest shutter on this one is 1/60th, but I don't see a reason to go below that. Above it's kind of nice, but below it is not good. Spotlight is kind of cool, but it does still have that same problem when you go up and down, when you go anywhere bright and then low. But it will make a face a little bit darker if that's what you're trying to do, because everything else is automatic in this thing besides the bright control right here. And then we have the white balance, which I put it on manual because I want them all to be completely the same. It does have one push autofocus for all of them, and it's on the joystick and the remote. And you can control the red and blue levels from the joystick as well, which I like to do. Which I'll show you in a second here. You can turn system. I turn IR receive off since I'm using the joystick. But display info on. Now every time you do something, like you press. Wow, I didn't do that. Oh yeah. Like let's say we wanted to save this on preset 6. No, it didn't show it. Why didn't it show it? System. Oh, it didn't turn it on. I must not have turned it on. Okay, now back out, back out. 1, 6. Preset 6. Oh, I know why. Because it won't remember. You have to be on 1 for it to remember a few of the commands. That's why. So system, display info on. Whatever's on 1 is those little tiny settings that normally don't matter. It will remember. So this one's kind of big. So, you know, you hit recall 2, recall 3. You don't want that showing up in your video, so that's where you turn that off, but make sure you're on 1. So let's say we wanted to save this on 6. So what you would do is you would you want to save it on 6, well, you just hold preset down and hit 6. Preset 6, and it saves it. And then you can come back to it anytime you want. Okay, now what else is there? there's not really too much more. It does have a backlight feature that hardly works. But this is just an amazing, I just wanted to do this quick video to show you how good it is. It does a really good job. So I absolutely fell in love with this because, you know, I had a GH4, I had a Sony, you know, A7 Alpha with a full frame. I had a couple different Sonys. I had the new Sony, the white one. I forgot what it's called already, but it has the amazing bokeh. It just came out here November 2021, and I'm using that for something else. But the amazing part of this is I don't have to keep going into different apps for the different cameras and setting it up and setting up focus properly and setting distance and getting up and moving them around whenever I need to move it to a different spot. It's just, or another great thing is the color. If you get all the same camera, you don't have to do color grading after. So the whole premise to me doing it this way with these cameras is so I have to do less work afterwards. So the Blackmagic, if you don't know about the ATEM, ATEM, check it out. There's a mini that you can get for less than $1,000, like $500 I think, the Pro. And then even if you get the ISO for either one of them, you can just pop it in DaVinci Resolve and edit. It has the full thing laid out for you. You don't have to find all the videos. It's just amazing. So you can do really quick videos with a setup like that. Anyways, thanks for watching.